maybe vegetables, because then I'm gonna be up all night thinking about vegetable decks. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
Right. All right. Wait, hold on. We have excellent connection. Lit. Let's see what's going on here. We should be starting. Okay. Yes, we are live. I need to do a thumbnail thing for this real quick. Edit says we're live with Burger. That is incorrect. We are live with. We're gonna change that thumbnail to that bad boy.
It's funny because
Yes.
I can't see what you're seeing, so.
Right. Also, if you have your phone and you want to like log into YouTube, Colin, hello. Looks all good. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, if you want to go check it out, on that's what I do. I have my laptop sitting here, and then I
I got it
just
right here.
I just pull her up, and we see what's going on. See,
I
everything should
see.
be
I see
good.
us.
Yes. The thumbnail's there. Yes.
Yes. What's up, Colin?
Hello,
Austin, what's
everybody.
up?
Austin, hello. But yeah, so Kier, just to start off, dude, I super appreciate you being on. Just to kind of give you an example, like tell you what this is about. So when we started the OPC Garden Hangout groups, I wanted to do a live where we bring on somebody from the community that is just killing it, and our community gets to ask them any questions that they want. Not just the Garden Hangouts community, but anybody that wants to join can. And I hope that this can kind of give the other people an experience of what being in like an OPC Hangout group is, because this is kind of what it is. It's just hanging out, jamming, talking about cards, and being dope.
Yeah. I needed this today, so I really appreciate that.
Dude, I'm so excited. When we hopped on the live, I was like, Kier, I'm using the wrong deck, and I had to go get some slow hands. So if you don't know who
Really tough.
Kier is,
I
right?
see that look.
Right? Like, yeah. If you guys don't know who Kier is, super dope YouTuber. He reviews playing cards, which is freaking awesome. His reviews are like, I feel like card reviews for a while were kind of just stale, and like nothing against people that were doing card reviews, because like I think that's kind of just what the community always expected. Like there wasn't
Yeah.
like it was kind of just like, oh, I just want to hear about the deck. I don't care about like the quality of what it looks like. But what I think drew me
Right.
to your videos were that you really care about the quality. Like you are very like, this has to not just be about the cards, but it has to look good.
Yeah, that's I appreciate that, man, because I would say when it comes to making deck reviews, they have to be interesting to people, or else they're I mean nobody's gonna watch them, right? Um, so that's why, like, I mean, I think at first for me, I just wanted to I don't know, share my love of cards. And so I wasn't really concerned about, like, when I was doing YouTube in the beginning, I wasn't concerned about anything other than like, oh, I like cards, I'm gonna make a video about them. And then I started seeing like what else is out there, and I think I took the same turn that a lot of people take, where my love of Magic somehow turned into a love of like filmmaking and video editing and
Yep.
photos, and now I feel like like that's just as much a part of my life as Magic.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so also the Slow Hands deck was made by Kier, and our good friend over at Elemental Playing Cards designed those, so definitely go
Yeah.
check those out. Very quickly, I am going to share this link in a couple places, just so we can have some more people hop in.
Yes, let's
Um,
do it. In fact, I'm gonna let me throw something on Instagram really quick.
right. But yeah, I super appreciate you doing this. I really think that this is such a good opportunity for people in the community to stop by and say hello. Um, David, is it just me or is the audio only in the left channel? I hope it's only you, David. But I do appreciate your help, because the OBS Skype thing is weird. It's a weird time. No, you are correct. It is only in the left channel. Uh Rip. Okay.
That is weird.
Hold on.
Is
Hold
it possible
on.
that that is something on my end that I've messed up?
Nope, it is definitely just this. Lit. Okay, now it should be in both channels. Hello. I am now in both of your ears. Hello. I don't know why that happens. OBS, I love Streamlabs OBS, but I use my Streamlabs. I was using it for my other Twitch, and if I ever want to get that back up and going again, I want to use it. But like, so I just use regular OBS for this, and it's great in terms of like me being able to like put everything where I want it. But like sometimes things just happen, and it's a fun time. So, but yes, thank you for that, David. Yeah, it's like half second delay, I think. Misread that. LOL. You were saying delay. Fixed it. Lit. So, yeah, I'm very excited to have Kier here. So for like, if you could tell everybody that's just chilling out while I share some links here. What got you into the card YouTube? Like, where were you before YouTube and like the cards?
That's a good question. I guess before YouTube, I was doing what a lot of people were doing with cards, which was just sitting isolated, shuffling them, and trying to feel cool. And um, I, I I had done a lot of Magic when I was a kid, and I was so used to what inspired me to get into Magic was David Blaine when Street Magic came out. I saw it years after it came out, but
Right.
um, so when I was a kid, that was really the only type of Magic that I really knew was like, okay, you just go out and you do card tricks for people, and that's how it goes.
Right.
Um, so I was doing that with my brother when we were little for a long time, and I was so in love with Magic, and then my interests kind of, they branched out into other things. I got into skateboarding and music, and
Nice.
just a lot of different things, and eventually I would always end up coming back to just grabbing a deck of cards and shuffling them and whatever. So that's pretty much where I was, and then YouTube started as kind of like I'm gonna call it like a quarter life crisis that I had. Uh, I had just turned
Yes.
24. I'm 27 now. I think I've been on YouTube for 3 years, and I was working. I was working a job that I just wasn't satisfied with doing. It was very adult, very grown up, um, and it just wasn't fun. And I just got married. I was happy. I just wanted to have like the fullest experience of a new life. So I quit my job, um,
Nice.
and I was doing just kind of some odd jobs here and there. But I was really trying to get into performing and bringing in money from gigs
Right.
for about a year. I sustained between that and then like periodically I was like selling cars for a little bit or whatever, like just little
Right.
things to get by.
Yeah.
But um, I started YouTube as kind of like a video resume because people would always ask me if I had a website for booking or whatever, and I didn't have one. But I was like, you know what? I could do a YouTube and just have some tricks on there, have like, just, an idea of what kind of magic, I'm into.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then somehow it turned into deck reviews. I don't really know where that happened, but
Right.
it started off as like just magic, and then I was cards.
Dude, that's dope. Yeah, yeah. No, I think that like YouTube is such a great place for people to grow and for people to like make connections. So I just think it's super dope. And I love your videos. I very much look forward to them.
Oh, thank you, man.
But yeah, so other than that, like I know a lot of people. Oh, Tanner James says hello, Kier.
Hey, what up, man?
I know a lot of questions too that I get asked is about making playing cards. Like, how do you make your own deck of playing cards? I feel like that's like the dream for like anybody in the card community, which we both will like luckily and very blessed with to get to live. But like a lot of people are always asking me, of course, like nobody, like not everybody has like a Kevin that can just like can just
Yeah,
like pay for things. So most of the time,
yeah,
people like they're looking into Kickstarter, and I know we looked into Kickstarter, but that was also like 3 years ago. And you are somebody who has recently done Kickstarter successfully. And I know a lot of people in the community have a lot of questions about Kickstarter. So like how was using Kickstarter and what was that process like for slow hands, just in
Well,
general?
I thank you for that question. I love talking about this. So, I mean, Kickstarter, the experience itself is great because it gives you an opportunity to make your dream deck or the cards that you want to use without having to put down your own money. And that is I mean, we're all lucky to have that. I think the downsides that come with Kickstarter though are it's hard. It's hard. You have to stay on top of the grind. You have to constantly keep people interested in your deck months before they can even touch it or hold it or buy it. And that I think that's really the hard part is if you put something on Kickstarter, if it's a deck of cards, it's going to be at least 6 months before you see that deck, right?
Yeah.
For the most part. Um, so it's hard to keep people interested in a deck of cards that exists conceptually for 6 months before it exists physically.
Yep.
And that I would say is probably the thing. So for those of you that do want to do your own deck of cards, I encourage you. Kickstarter, luckily, if you don't get funded, there's no consequence to you or anybody else. So It's it's relatively risk free. I think the big thing is just have something interesting and then be ready to have 6 months worth of interesting content to help promote it. Um, and yeah, and that's I mean I don't know. Kickstarter's ideal. I think for first time deck doers that don't have a Kevin, or in our case, luckily we have Alex printing our next deck.
Yep.
Um, and then we're very fortunate for that. But Kickstarter's a great. I mean, it's a great way to start. Think about some of the decks that came off of Kickstarter for their V1 and successfully just like Orbit. I think came off of Kickstarter. The Mint collection. So many decks.
Yeah, I think Fontaine started on Kickstarter. Like
Yeah,
everyone starts on Kickstarter. So, yeah, I think that's a big thing. That's the thing I get asked freaking all the time, and I'm like, I have no idea. So
let me ask you: do you also get this? Because I don't know who. I don't know. I think sometimes people lump different people in the community in together as like a unit.
right,
And what I mean by that is like, you got your like there's people like me who like review and help people promote cards.
right,
And then there's people like you who own your own and run your own very successful and very rapidly producing company. Whereas like and I guess what I'm getting at is I get people that'll sometimes ask me for like I don't know, like help promoting a deck.
right.
And but then I'll also see people that don't promote decks get asked that same question, and we're all kind of part of this like same club of people that get these like, how do you produce a deck? And if I wanted to do one, would you help me promote it? Those are like the two big ones that I
Right. Yeah, yeah. And I think that's super important too. I think that there's like also King's VTS. Hello, my friend. How are you? Welcome in. We're here with Kier. And we're talking about decks. And I think one of the most important things is people that like can help promote a deck, because like as you said, I mean, being able to promote something and keep somebody excited about something for a long period of time is freaking hard. And yeah, we do get reached out. People like are like, hey, can we do like joint giveaways? And luckily, since like we're a brand that would sell our own cards, we're like, hey, like that's like we just don't do that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like it's really nice for creators like you, because you're able to be like, heck yeah, like let's do it. Like I'll do a review on those. Or like I know Nate most of the time when he is like with More Than Paper, like what loves just making videos with different decks of cards and matching them to his clothes. And it's like a good outlet for I think creators in the cardistry community to kind of not make a living, but like make side money if the brand's able to like pay, or you just get free decks, which is also lit. Like if I was, back before OPC, if I got free decks, I was like, heck yeah, like I'll do whatever you want.
that's funny too, because I think the excitement, like you get so enchanted in the beginning when like you get your first company that sends you something for free.
Yeah, and you're
like this is the coolest thing that's ever happened. I remember my very first like free deck review, and it was so exciting for me. I felt like a real YouTuber, and I had 18 subscribers. I don't even know, like I had
right.
no subscribers. Um, but it's funny because then after a while you start to realize too, like when you love cards so much that I was doing basically, I was getting paid in decks for YouTube reviews for like the first like 2 years I was doing it. It was only very recently that I was able to really start making money doing that.
Right.
And I credit that to just the quality of the videos. But it's funny because like you just like I can't think of anything else that I love so much that I would work 6 hours to make a video for free, or just for the product.
Right, exactly.
But
yeah,
cards,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, send me 2 decks and I'm on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's very fun to see in terms of like different people grow in the community, and kind of like in terms of, I also think it's really fun as like OPC to see the people that like kind of were kind of starting out around the same time we did, kind of like growing with us in terms of like I mean, I think I remember you were around for the Squeezers V1, or were you even around for Peelers V1?
That was, yeah, both.
Both? Yeah.
The Peelers, I just got so excited about the color. I was like, I'm sold. That's it.
Right. That's dude, it's so crazy. I think I like was on a live with David and David Kohler, and I found the like very first Peelers V1 prototype, and I'm like, this thing looks awful. like if 3 years ago MPC, like, it was, the colors weren't right, like every picture we made we pretty much had to like Photoshop the colors to be what they were supposed to be, and like kind of like I just think it's so cool to see people that like kind of came into the scene at the same time we did, and like now see where both of us are at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which
Especially because if I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go for it. Yeah, go.
I think it's interesting because you and Nate like were like this, like that was like my goal. Like, you know, everybody has their goals, and one of mine was like I need to know these people that are doing these like amazing like creative projects, and I want to know like what that is and like what that looks like. And I remember I reached out to you or Nate. I don't know which one of you was DMing me at the time after the first Peelers deck, and I was like, man, you guys like you killed it. This is the best. This is the best thing ever. Like,
right.
it's so great. And then it's weird just because now like I'll look at my phone and I see like, oh, Cam texted me.
Right.
Like, it's so exciting that like I made friends out of people that I was like, whoa, these dudes, you know.
Stop it.
And you're younger than me, dude. So if I don't look pathetic enough,
Stop. No. Dude, it's been a wild ride. Who else do we got here? Well, you have to deliver good quality content to get paid, which you do, so that's cool. Omar in here with showing some love. Aloha, hello. Helam Casey, are you from Hawaii? Is that, or that's pretty dope if we have somebody watching in Hawaii. Slight O, heyo. There is no sound on Kier. We only hear the speaker from your mic, I think. Can you guys hear Kier? You guys should be able to hear Kier.
Yeah, my speakers are all the way up.
Yeah. I turned you up on, because like the weird way of how OBS I have to do this, I have to capture your audio through my mic. It's a weird time. Dude, this is very much like we do this once a month, so we are cut and dry here. we're trying.
I think that's the way to do it, man, because you know how this goes down. That's what makes this different from your next live stream, and that's cool.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, let us know if that gets fixed. I want to fix it for you guys. Hopefully, you guys haven't just been here not hearing Kier.
I said some really cool stuff. I revealed like 10 different things you guys wanted to know. So
right, yeah. Like he told you guys what the next OPC deck was. Like, crazy.
Am I allowed to say that I was, in fact, I guess we'll have to see, I was fortunate enough to see it. Am I allowed to say that?
Sure, yeah. Technically everyone that saw the Meiosis trailer has seen the box, so.
Hint.
I'm a little, nobody said anything, and I'm like, man, like I got a new OPC card shelf, and I'm showing it off, and nobody's looking at it.
So that was intentional? You didn't
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You think that? No. You always, because like you can't tell what it is. Like you see the color, and you're like, oh, that's interesting.
It's
okay.
new. That's all I know.
Right. You're like, that doesn't. Why does Cam have so many of somebody else's decks? And it's like, oh, that's the new one. Oh no.
I was gonna ask you too. So you guys over the years have done some insane teasers for like next releases. There's always like, you know, you'll put on like your Instagram story when people are like, what's the next deck? And you're like, look at the courts closer. Like, so you guys do these little Easter eggs, these little teasers. Has that been since the V1 Peelers? Was that like something that you were like, we got to keep, or did it just like after the second deck and you got serious?
I think really that like, hopefully this is better. Tell me if this is better, y'all. I think I fixed it. Hopefully it's okay now. Yeah, we kind of like, so the very first time we actually did it was we were like, I think it was the mystery bag last year. When we were like, we literally put like a Blackberry Snackers like in the background, like in a box, and like only like 5 people saw it, and we were like, yes, like, because we always just try to like because it's fun for us to like look back and be like, remember when we did that? So I think it's fun. I think it just keeps people like into it and excited. I think we also try to do that too when like, especially this past year with COVID, when everything has kind of been very spaced out. Like the thing that kind of I feel bad about is that we're bombarding our own audience with like like the Squeezers V3, the deck this month, and then one more deck before the end of the year, all in like a span of like 4 or 3 months. Like, it's crazy. We try to usually spread it out between like every 2 months we have a drop, because yet we know that like people just spend money on this as like it's a hobby, so we don't want to like overwhelm our community. But at the same time, like with how USPCC was so backed up and like all that stuff happened, like it was very like we had stretches where we were just like we have nothing, you know what I mean? So we came out with tutorials, we came out with content, but then I was like, you know what, we're gonna tease things, we're gonna make things happen, you know what I mean? Keep people excited, keep the energy up. So yeah, we try to sneak peek a little sometimes, but yeah.
I love that. Because I feel like that's something that goes with the brand, you know, is like part of it is the image, and part of it is the colors or whatever, but the other part is like I wonder what fruit is going to be next, or what the name is. Like, I'm always interested to know what the name is going to be, because it's always clever, you know?
Right. Yeah.
How's my audio? Is it bad?
No, I think your audio is good.
Okay.
Is that... Hi, I just joined Julian. Hello. I think your audio should be fine. It's just the levels are showing up fine on my stuff, so.
Okay.
But yes. So actually, just to kind of switch gears here, I have a question for you about slow hands. So, where in the world did this idea come from? Can we talk about that? Because I don't know, and I really want to know.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm excited to talk. Again, I could talk about this stuff all day. So Slow Hands, conceptually, I had the idea, the name and the idea in my head probably since like, I don't know, like I'm going to say probably 2017, maybe 2016. But at the time I wasn't YouTubing. I definitely I wasn't making cards. I had, whatever. But it would be cool to do a deck that kind of represents like anybody in a position similar to mine, which was like, you love Magic, but you're not sure where you're going with it. Are you a product photographer? Are you performing? Are you doing gigs? So, but at the end of the day, what's left is just your love for cards. But when you first get into cards, you suck, right? Like, your hands are slow, you can't shuffle, you're shaky, you're just nervous. So I wanted to do a deck that represents I think the best of the community, and that's the starry-eyed beginners that really make people like us and what we do, that's possible because of the beginners that love it so much. So kind of just a deck for that.
Dude, that's so dope. I kind of thought that like was it, but I was like I'm not, dude, the piece with the snail, like I'm very excited for the next deck. I like when you guys said that there was going to be like another version, I was like, okay, or like a next deck, you know what I mean? So this is also an opportunity for our friends to come on and like plug their stuff. If you want to plug that, tell people about it. Go for it. This is your time.
Thank you. I would love that. First of all, shout out to Nick Nisco, who is back to design the V2, and will design all future Slow Hands decks for sure. So let me show you guys. If you don't know, Slow Hands is my brand. It was my deck release earlier this year. And we are getting ready to do our V2. We have the files sent over to USPCC. We're hoping to get them out like by the end of the year, probably. But if you guys haven't seen, we do have some teasers on our Instagram. Whoops, where am I at? Well, it's here if you can't see it. Slowhands_cards on Instagram. If you guys want to see updates on the new deck, we're not doing a blue version of the last one or anything like that. So if you guys are interested in some of what we have to offer, head on over there.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for it. I talked with you about it, I think, a little before, and yeah, I'm very excited to see like the full deck. I'm excited to get some. Like I think the concept is really, really fun. Which again, I think that a lot of times like some decks can really like lack theme, and it makes me very happy when things have a theme. Like it just feels nice.
Yeah,
you know.
I agree, because I think especially, and I've said this in some of my reviews for OPC decks, I think it's important because if you have a deck that has a very simple, minimal back design. Even though it's it's very attractive and very nice, it's simple, and you kind of have to rely on those customizations in like the courts and the creativity of like the gaff cards, which are always cool, or reveals, because then it's more than just what people would say. I think is overly minimal, which
Right.
you know it's subjective, but I think I don't know. Like I think I see a lot of decks that have that one image that's mirrored on the back. And this goes back to Kickstarter advice. If you guys are doing a deck and you want to have that simple OPC style with that rounders kind of logo and colorway, do something different with something else on the deck to make it unique, like the tuck box or the faces. Obviously, we can learn from OPC. That's a good thing. So
Yeah.
I love that. I've always loved that. I think that's really cool.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think that like it like story is what sells. Like I mean, again, like you telling me the story behind these, I was like, oh, like I definitely like I feel that because like I still feel like I'm starting out in cardistry. Like I really wasn't into learning more cardistry or like getting into the cardistry community until probably about like last year. Like I loved being a part of the community, but I never felt like I was like very good or like that I knew a lot of moves, and like I just really started working on my cardistry. So I think that like the whole story behind this, I was like definitely like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like that, I feel that. You know what I mean? And I think that when you can feel something, it makes it more of a community rather than just like, here, buy my deck. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. And I think like the risk that comes with that too is like, not only do you want your story to be like an actual reflection of what you want to represent, like it's hard because
right.
For slow hands, like that was one idea that I had of like, a bunch of other potential decks,
right.
Some that I'm working on right now, but slow hands as a brand, I think really is meant to be for like just the people like me, the people that are not professionals, that are not amateurs, but just kind of are somewhere in between trying to find out what they want to do and how cards are going to best serve them,
Right.
And that's, I mean, it's a journey and it's a grind and it's a hustle, but you get a free deck out of it when you find the first deck, and that's cool.
Right.
I got my usual stock of slow hands plus one. I had the plus one as like a thank you to myself. I was like, this is the one I'll never open.
Yeah, dude.
Because I want to use every slow hands deck that I have.
Yep.
But except for one, I want to keep just one.
Yep.
That's my goal.
Yeah. I feel like that's for sure. Like just like that's like part of the collector. I feel like even if you're a cardist or you're a magician or even just like I think even the like performing arts people still like have that collector's like mind, that brain, because we're like, if I ever buy cards, I usually buy 3. I keep 2 to open and 1 to keep closed just to have. You know what I mean? So I just think that that's cool. We have a random question from Colin. What is the Garden Hangouts text in? I just looked that up. It is in New Ave. It's in Canvas or Canva. Sorry, Canvas is something different. Yeah, Canva. I'm a big advocate of Canva. Kier, what is your favorite flourish?
Of the 8 that I can do, my favorite one to do lately I can't remember the name. This sucks. I saw the tutorial from XCM on YouTube. And I think it's called like Raptor, and it's really hard to. I mean, I can't do it that well yet, but it looks like this. You guys have probably seen me do this in like any of my last like 7 videos. So I've been working on that. I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
So that's my favorite right now, but my favorite one to see other people do, I don't know, that's hard, man, because not only do I not know the names of some of these crazy moves, there's like different, okay, this is going to sound stupid. One of my favorite flourishes is one that I can't do because I think my hands are too big for the flourish. And I can't do ATM. I've had people tell me, they're like, you do backdrop wrong because I use my, I don't know, I don't use my pinky. But
really?
So yeah, I do this.
You use your ring? Oh, you use your ring, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh no, you use your pinky.
Do I?
Yeah, no, that's how backdrop goes.
But then I use my index and not my thumb.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. So I can't do so I love that, and I also can't do ATM. That's the one my hands are too big for. So I don't know. Tell me if like this is the problem. I think my fingers get in my way.
I do. Okay, I also can't do ATM. So
Really?
Really?
I feel so much better.
I can't. It's so bad. It's like I'm just starting to learn like Lego love, but I can't do ATM to save my freaking life. David Kohler, if you're still here, is the person to ask because he's learning it right now and he's getting it. So yeah.
So David, DM me on Instagram if you're not about magic. Send me your tips, anything while you're learning it.
Right.
It looks so cool, but I can't do it.
Well, and so I'm gonna answer some of this chat real quick, and then I'm gonna go to like a quick tangent off of what we were talking about, because I think it's an important message that I kind of want to start like spreading through the community. Hey, any tips on creating a deck, like getting a fan base behind it? The question's for any of you, by the way. Yeah. So any tips on like, I mean, getting a fan base, it's really just kind of like putting the deck out there, like getting it in creators' hands that like make things with playing cards.
Yeah. I sent a prototype of Slow Hands to Nate, and he made it look amazing. It was better than anything I could have done.
Right.
That's what it's all about. I think it's that, and I also think it's, and this sounds like, I think it's not overthinking it. Like, in order for me to sell a deck or to have my own deck, I have to make the deck and I have to put it out there. I have to take the picture, and if it's not perfect, I have to put it out there anyway, you know?
Right.
So I think a lot of it is about just believe in it so much that you live the product or that you use it. You know, if you're willing to use it every day, somebody else is too. So
the last piece of advice too is be a part of the community that you're trying to sell to. Like,
absolutely.
Like you can't just go like show up to this random community and be like, hey, here's my thing, and like shove it in their face, and they're like, who is this person? Like, what? Like, where are you? Where'd you come from? You have to like,
yeah.
Right, yeah, like you have to be ingrained in it, especially in like a niche community that's this small. Like, you just have to be connected, and like it's just building those friendships and building those relationships, and then like once you get to a certain point and you want to make a deck, you could be like how was me and Sean? Oh, I was like, hey Sean, can I send you some Squeezers V1? And he was like, heck yeah. And I was like, bet, like perfect, because we had messaged back and forth and started like becoming friends. And then I was like, hey, we have this deck, like would you be able to make something with it? And he was like, yeah. So it's just being involved in the community that you're trying to also like, you know, make decks and provide to. All right.
100%. And staying above like the drama of it all, which somehow seems to be, I think COVID made it worse, but you know, kind of just staying above all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Christopher says Cascade. Quinn, yo. Halen Casey just got the V3 Squeezers the other day. So sick. My favorite metallic ink on a card so far. That's freaking awesome. Thank you so much. And then they also asked, do something tropical for me down here in Hawaii. Oh, they are from Hawaii. Freaking bet. Coconut crackers, pineapple, guava, mango. Those all sound like exotic fruits.
Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice.
Yep. just gonna leave that there for you. And then small hand things. Caitlin Chen says, well, what do we have here? We have Kier Gomes here hanging out. Andrew, hello, what's up? And then thanks for the help, means a lot. Yeah, for sure, Slido. But yeah, I think one of the things that, because when you brought up the fact that, like, again, you made a deck that's, like, for people, like, you have slow hands in the beginning, like, people are learning. I think one of the things that people in cardistry, or, like, people that like cardistry or are in the cardistry community, I feel like people forget how freaking hard cardistry is sometimes. And the problem is we don't celebrate cardistry enough. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I had Sam Gordon out here, and we were talking about cardistry, and we also, Caleb from Cardistry Talk was out here, and they were talking about like solo videos, and we were watching all these other videos, and like Sam was like, yeah, like sometimes like I feel like the community feels as if you put L cuts in a video, they have to be super clean, or you're kind of like an amateur cardist. And I'm like, bro, I can't even do L cuts. Like, and I'm like, I must be an infant, you know what I mean? But like at the same time, I feel like people like let the community have a standard of like what is good and like what is easy, but we don't celebrate that. Like, even though you can just do a Charlier cut, you're probably like 1% of the population in the world that can do that. Like,
thank you, dude. So I'm gonna comment on that. I don't know when it happened, but I stopped taking myself so seriously, like earlier in the year, right? I hit this wall where I was like, I am so tired of trying to be what I think I'm supposed to try to. I don't know. So I was like, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm gonna do like, I'm gonna let myself drop cards in my videos, or like I'm gonna let myself, if it's not perfect, I'm gonna whatever. And it's, don't get me wrong. I mean, the quality is important to me,
right.
But I think it's interesting because I usually don't let stuff bother me. In terms of like, if I don't know a move, I don't know a move. I got a comment though from somebody, I think it was earlier today, that said like, all your flourishes are starting to look like the same, or something like that, right? And obviously, I mean, I didn't respond to it, but I wanted to just be like, yeah, because I only know like 10. So maybe, but I feel like admitting that is like, condemning myself in the community, because people are like, oh, if you do under pressure in a video, you're not a real cardist, or like, oh, if you do the cascade, like you know, and
bro,
dude, I do the cascade in almost every single video because it's good.
Right.
Sorry.
Slaps.
Look at that. Look how good it looks with that deck, too.
Oh, right? Yeah. Dude, we should figure out who made these and, like, give him a big pat on the back.
I want to hit that dude up so I want to see that.
Dude, but yeah, no, that's the crazy part, too, that I'm like, I think sometimes, like, people can, especially in the cardistry community, like it can be very, not toxic, but it can kind of be this place where, like we're comparing ourselves to each other, and like we can't do that. Like you literally will get nothing good out of the cardistry community if you compare yourself to other people. Because like I went to CardistryCon and literally spent 3 days just like absolutely crapping myself watching people do cardistry. Like seriously, I was like, where am I? Like I am in some alternate universe because this shouldn't be happening. Like seeing just like some of the people that are absolutely like crazy in the community, just in person, just like one like Burger just like landing something off like, you know, at the first try. Shout out to Burger again. Like you know, like meeting Dimitri from freaking Cardistry Touch and just like seeing him just like whip out some crazy stuff just to like test out a deck, you know? Like when I test out a deck, I take it out of the box, I like fan it, you know, I give it a good Pharaoh. Like that's what you do when you test out a deck. He's just sitting there like, I'm like, oh my God.
I think there's a lot to be said for people that like there's like a psychology to how people break in their decks. Like for me, I don't like when I take a deck out of the box, I like to do like 3 things before I shuffle them because I want to like test the slippiness. I like it. So like I'll do this a little bit. I'll fan them, you know. I'll do like some pressure. But then like once I start shuffling, like I break in my decks like a total amateur. Sometimes I shuffle them. Sometimes I'll just like drop them on the first try. I'll be like this, and then one will shoot out, you know. Like,
Yep.
Eventually, though, they get enough like dirt and like
grind
wear on them that they feel great. So.
Right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, Cascade is a sexy move. It is a very good move. You're also a magician. Yeah, Chris. That's also a thing. Like I feel like if like I definitely think magicians should learn cardistry because I think cardistry can and cardistry can just help in terms of like you with a deck of cards and just make things look like smoother. I feel like ever since I've started doing cardistry, like even my color changes are like I'm like wow, like that's smooth. Like that's nice.
I think what ends up happening is like for me anyway, I get more comfortable just because after years of like, you know, double lifts and whatever, I get more comfortable applying it in context. Yep. So like with cardistry, I know I need like a small packet, so I just get used to like the sensitivity.
Right.
And it does help with sleight of hand for sure.
Right. Caitlin, Small Hand Things in the chat said, I love friends who support friends. Yes, we do. We love snaps in the chat. We love friends who support friends. But yeah, no, I think that it's one of those things where like, I feel like that's probably always going to be part of the community. I mean, it is an art form, in terms of like, sorry, picking up cards that I dropped because I don't ever drop cards.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Right, yeah. Like that wasn't even doing a move. I just like literally like my brain malfunctioned. I just dropped him. But yeah, no, I think that it's super important that like, especially for beginners, because I feel like cardistry can be a very daunting thing to learn. Like you can be like somebody will see some like watch, like literally anybody's videos and they'll be like, oh my god, like I could never do that.
It's
Like
because it's so hard to even spread a deck in the beginning. Like
yep.
you can't even clean, like it's
Right.
it's hard.
Yeah. So, waiting for my Squeezers V3 to arrive one day. Yes, international shipping is a rough time. Yeah, hashtag XCM from UME playing cards. Yep,
Yes.
awesome stuff to watch. So yeah, I think one more question that I kind of had in mind, because I think you have to run at like I think it was like we said like 7:10, 7:05 ish.
Oh yeah, sorry guys.
Oh, you're good. We usually go for like 45 minutes. Usually, if it's longer than that, I feel like we're kind of just dragging on. You know, gotta get quality content out there, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so Magic Tricks 51. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hey.
But yeah, so I think one of the last questions that I have is, where like I want to know in terms of your videos, like where do you gain inspiration for your videos? Like, was there somebody that you kind of like looked up to in terms of videos, or are you just kind of out here like doing your own thing? Like you just got a camera and you're just gonna make some videos?
I don't think I've ever been asked that question, to be honest. I've asked, like, there's been people who've asked me, like, what, where I get my inspiration from, but I don't think I've ever had anybody ask me specifically, like, if I draw inspiration from anyone else. I don't know. I think at first I just did what I saw or tried to emulate what I saw on YouTube.
Right.
And I didn't really watch a lot of, like, card reviews or anything. Again, I was, like, only interested in Magic at the time.
Right.
But when I started doing reviews, I started researching on like what people really want to know about a deck.
Right.
And then I just thought about like how can I do that but make it funny or exciting, and how can I use my personality to like make the video
right
a deck review but also worth watching even if you don't like cards. Like, is there jokes? Is there whatever? And I think over time I started to bleed that into like aesthetics and like this wall behind me sucks. I got to do some pink, or I want to put some blue.
Yeah.
And I think that mixed with as I'm growing as a person, that influences my videos more than anything. But there was reference material. Like I watched like I don't know. I was already on YouTube when I saw The Gentleman Wake, but like
right.
I love his videos. His B-roll is like a huge inspiration for mine.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I see everything, even if it's not card related, and I try to work what I like into my videos.
Yeah. No, I think it's very important in terms of like people who make content or like make things that like you kind of make it what you want it to be. You're like, if I was a consumer of this thing, like what would I want it to be like? And I think it's also good in terms of like if you get into making like deck reviews, or if you get into making like card trailers, like when Caleb and Sam were here and they were showing me all of these like card videos, I was like, I've never watched these before. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because, and I really hadn't thought about it, but at the time I'm like, I kind of didn't want to watch them to like not influence what I make. Because like sometimes if you consume a bunch of something and then try to make your own, it can be very hard naturally not to make the things that you've seen. So like that totally makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I think especially because being that I have a beard, tattoos, and I like cards, and I'm on YouTube, obviously there's the Chris Ramsey comparison out there.
Right.
I'm not gonna. I love his content, like or his quality of his videos. I think anybody should strive to make videos that good.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever tried to do something that he's done.
Right. Yeah.
Just because that's his thing. It's I mean, like his signature is all over that thing, and I don't want to copy that. So.
Right. Yeah. We have some more people in the chat. Dude, Kier, your videos are sick. From Halem Casey.
Hey.
Kier has a trademark on the color pink. Correct. It's back. I still don't think I spread the cards well. Yeah, it's literally just muscle memory and something you have to work at over time. Cameron Brown, hello. I feel like I just spring cards constantly and do nothing else. Yeah.
I have days where that's hours of my day. I'm reading or I'm like working and I'm just
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep. I do flicker shot all the time. Like I'm just like, woo,
Oh yeah.
just
Yep.
and it's just not even like it's something to where you try to when you're learning a new move, you should focus on it. But then after
Yep.
you get the basics down, like you definitely should just try to do it mindlessly. Because then
Yep.
it's just you literally just do it without even thinking about it.
The revolution cut, when I learned that, I was like, it was really hard for me to not look at my hand. But
Yep.
now, like, I almost think it's easier when I don't look.
Yeah.
It's just easier to like make it happen when I'm paying attention to something else.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Who else do we got here? Yo. What's up, Jesse? He is actually in Australia, so that's freaking dope. Hello.
Jesse G down there.
Yes, Jesse G.
G, yeah, he reviewed the slow hands deck. It was awesome.
Yeah. And then Hagugi Man, I think I said that right. I get annoyed with myself for always doing the same moves with my decks and not learning anything. And like I feel like that's kind of what we've been talking about. Like I feel like cardistry can get some people in a rut sometimes because they're like, what moves do I learn? And then when you learn a new move, it's so freaking hard. Like, and you're just like, you mess with it for like an hour and you're just like, like I don't have time for this, And then I think what we should encourage people to do more is like if you're not feeling into learning moves, don't feel like you have to. Like the cardistry you can still do is still fun and still good, and as long as you're getting enjoyment out of it, like screw everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe you're making those flourishes that you always do better, and then you'll be the expert at at something, or maybe you'll create a spin-off of it, and you made your first cardistry move. That's what happened to me.
Yeah, like or if you like just don't feel like learning anything, like literally just sit there for an hour and try to come up with something fun and cool. Like not like usually like 7 times out of 10, like somebody else has done it before. But okay, here's another thing. We're going on a cardistry community rant tonight. Another thing, oh god, I'm too amped. Another thing, really quick, is that when somebody creates a move, or thinks that they create a move, and then like they put it out and somebody's like, hey, somebody either did this exact same thing or did something very, 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 very similar like 3 years ago, people get discouraged and they're like, dang, like I'm not original. And it's like, to that, it's kind of like, like you are original because you didn't see that. Like you had no influence from that person.
You still thought it up.
Right,
Yeah.
like your brain still went through the motions. Like the tables were turning. You still did it. You still figured it out. Like somebody else came up with it.
I think that should be validated because you came up with something that is a credited move. So it should be validated. Like, oh, this dope cardist came up. Oh, okay.
Like you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sitting here like, yes. Like tell him, Kier.
It's refreshing to hear, man. It's refreshing to hear this stuff.
Right. Well, because I just think people, again, it can just get caught up in this like rut where they're like, yeah, like I'm okay at cardistry, and they're just like, yeah, like I know, you know what I mean? They start to value themselves off of like the moves they can do, or like, dude, I can't even tell you the name of half the moves that like I know or like want to learn. But yeah, I think it's good for the community to know that. Keen for the next OPC deck and the Slow Hands V2. Yes, Jesse G is ready.
I'm also keen for both.
Right? Andrew McGarth. I've been working on Squeeze forever. Yeah, Squeeze is hard.
Yeah,
like I still can't. Like I've tried to. Like I can get to like this point, and then I forget how it closes.
When I gave up on it, that's the point that I was able to get to. When I was like, I can't.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
What I sometimes I'll spend so long trying to learn a flourish, and then I'll be like, I've tried it so many times that I'm trying it wrong now. Like I'm doing it worse because I'm so like over it. So
Yeah.
I'll go to something else. I'll like draw a picture, like cook something or whatever, and then I'll come back and try it again, and usually that helps too. But
Yeah.
Squeeze is a hard one, man. It's just there's a lot going on.
Yeah. So. Bet. Well, this is last calls for people in the chat.
Yeah.
Want to give Kier some time to answer any last questions, any curiosities you have. I will ask Kier one last question while we get everybody in the chat to ask one last thing to Kier. Anything you've ever wondered about Kier Gomes, he's here to answer it. Here's my question for you, Kier. What is your favorite type of pie?
Whoa. Whoa, dude. Man, probably like a lemon pie.
Really? I didn't
Like
take
for
you as a
me,
lemon guy. I thought you'd be
dude.
like a sugar cream guy. I thought you were gonna be like.
Maybe, dude. Anything lemon flavored is my favorite thing.
Really?
Like,
Okay.
and I don't know what it is. The flavor of lemon. I don't like lemons,
But like
but
flavored lemon is
the flavor of lemon I love.
right.
Like the artificial one.
Right.
My favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. My my fiance would be about that with you. She's all about lemons and all that kind of stuff. I'm
Yes.
I'm more of like a sugar cream pie kind of guy. More of a.
No, don't get me wrong. There's not really a pie that I don't like, or like a dessert, or I mean, there's really not a food that I don't like. Especially since quarantine, I've realized that I'm okay with just eating all the time and enjoying that. That's a life that I think I've earned. So.
Right, yeah. Dude, eggplant. I can't get behind eggplants. Eggplants are weird. Like I've tried having it in like these weird dishes, and it's a texture thing. I don't know.
Yeah, eggplants, and I can't really get down with squash. My wife loves it, but like it's like kind of one of my things where like anything else, but
yeah, squash is not a no go. Here we go. Sam Chung, secret talent other than magic.
Oh dear. I mean, I have other stuff I'm good at. But a secret talent, like something that I don't know if I've ever told people. I used to rap, so sometimes I can rap.
Okay. All right, Kier. All right. All right.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say I used to rap like like I don't know. I used to like record songs,
right?
And like put them on Facebook when I was in high school,
mm-hmm.
But I tried to do like an Asher Roth thing in high school, but like nice. Who didn't? So I guess there's a hidden talent, and I've never said that on YouTube. I've never said that anywhere otherwise.
There you go.
I don't talk about it, but there you go.
Garden Hangouts exclusive.
If you invite me back, no, I'm just
right. Oh my God, Colin! No, you didn't. All right, Kier. The most important question I will ask you: do you put your toilet paper over or under?
That's very important. I go over always.
Good.
In fact, I'm the guy. If I see somebody has it under, I will change it to over for them, even if they don't ask me.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Okay.
I am unbelievably happy. So it was really funny. My fiance, when I first met her family, she goes, "I have a very aggressive family, so you have to dish it out. You gotta come in hot." And I was like, "All right." And I went to
don't be shy, right?
Right. And so I went to her mom's house, and she had the freaking toilet paper under, and I was like, "Hell no!" And I flipped it.
Whoa.
Right. And she goes into the bathroom, and like the first couple times I went there, right, she didn't say anything. Like she just went into the bathroom, and she thought McKenna, my fiance, was like putting it on wrong. But then she started to notice that every time I left the bathroom, it was flipped over. So like it was like the fifth time I did it. All I hear was her go, "Son of a!" And I was like, "Oh no!" I was like, "She's gonna hate me forever." She was like, "Did you?"
Like it was a joke.
Right? Yeah. I was like, well, first of all, you're doing it wrong. First of all,